Hey, welcome everybody to Battle Pirates Crib. I guess we're going to talk about PvP weekend, the Everest flag, or I don't know, who knows what else, and whatever else you guys would like to provide. Let me go ahead and introduce everybody. Lady Cat is
I'm back. Hello.
hello, and Magic Mike,
Heidi ho.
and Derpy, feeling pretty.
Did I hear PvP weekend?
You did, but I didn't want to
VXP
say
weekend.
anything about it.
VXP weekend. And feeling pretty?
Always.
Okay. And you're not the one setting those roadblocks, are you?
Well, I made it a few, but I don't try to get involved too much.
Okay, alrighty. And KB.
Yeah, good morning, good morning.
So, I don't know. We're still waiting for Battle Pirates next week to pop up. Hopefully before the end of the show. I don't know. We've run through this VXP target and how to get VXP for free. Do we want to run through that again?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you do.
Okay. Are you want to do it, Mike?
Well, let's see. I only got scant amount of health on my ship, but sure I can.
Well, as long as you do it right.
Okay, I'll do it.
It won't really matter.
Sure. Hold on. Let me get rid of all my porn sites here and.
Okay. And Derpy, I saw you put a video out on the your new Everest build, not your Everest build, but sort of a possibility that we sort of discussed last week. All right, who's eating their microphone?
It's not I.
Okay. And so there's, as far as the possibilities, and then I wasn't sure which, I think I'm pretty good idea what build you went with on your ships. And you said you stopped everything. So I'm assuming that you put HVR on your flag and then went with Ascension System and K2 on the back ships?
Yeah. Do you want me to share that, or just a description is good enough?
Yeah, but you said you stopped it. Yeah. If you want to share it, and we'll get to Mike in a minute.
I got to find the target, so I'll let you know.
Okay.
Or you'll be able to see it.
Okay.
So yeah, I just put a high velocity round, super high projectile speed on the flagship, and optimized everything for anti-mortars. There's a few changes that I did that aren't necessarily needed, like this hydroatomizer over countermeasure loaders 4. This gives better anti-mortar accuracy.
Okay.
I also put on subaquatic propellant only for the projectile speed. The countermeasure reload's worthless. It's only projectile speed.
Yeah,
and this is something that I'm not necessarily the person who thought all of these things. These are the best. This looked like it was the best one for me, so I went with this on the flagship. And this, even by itself, is enough. Probably by itself is enough to keep down all the mortars from the entire target. At least the 160, 170. The 180 might need a bit more help. And then the back 4 ships do still have 3 countermeasures on here, and those are the Ascension System / K2 for more damage, and the engine for more reload here. I'm pretty happy with this. I'm not planning on changing anything right now. I guess I've still got six tokens for it.
Let me ask, what would you do if you didn't want to change the engines and all that stuff?
You're going to be in trouble.
Okay. So it's going to require going over to that RX engine then.
Yeah, if you still have my old, if I have my old build, if I want to keep this engine, if I want to keep this engine here, I can't put on the Ascension. I can't put on high velocity rounds.
Oh, that's right. They don't stack. I remember.
So
okay.
It gets pretty painful.
Okay.
But taking those two off, how much time does it take to...
They had to die.
I was going to say, it's not a big deal, is it?
Yeah.
It's about a day to do the refit from this, what I'm showing you right here, to what I was using in my shipyard.
Okay, so it's like a 1 day token plus or minus.
It's 22 hours.
Would you show
Okay,
that?
it's less than a day. Okay. Okay, so yeah, a lot of people have tokens, and I expect that we'll probably see more tokens in pillage.
Probably.
Yeah, maybe only 2 instead of 10 or something, but
It makes sense though for an FM fleet.
I'm at 6 out of 10 right now. If I planned the raid a bit better, I'd be at 8 out of 10. But I'm not going to put on any armor for now until we get armor for the Everest. So that's why I'm saving these for.
See, I
Okay.
have done that before.
And I did your build.
You can do the.
Except for the subaquatic. I think I went with countermeasure loaders.
I think I got a target. Okay.
Or you probably meant you stayed with explosives battery 1. Or
Yeah. I went back to the show and did what you did on the show, I thought, but maybe I was wrong.
I did change things a little bit around after that.
Okay. I'm glad you have a different build than you.
Okay. And let's switch over. If we're done with that, we can bring that topic back up, and then we'll go to Mike.
I don't want to make that same mistake again. Okay.
Yeah.
Tell me when.
No, you're on.
So all I do is target this turret right here.
Yeah, and there's also some more available.
You can go down
and kill those 3.
And the big thing at the top, at the bottom right.
Actually, I tried that big building on the right side there.
You can't. This one?
No, the one next to it. The big pointy thing.
Oh, the big one? Okay, we can try that next.
Yeah, the fuel silos have too much deflection. You can't kill those. With my health forms, I could chain off of those and kill everything else, but I couldn't actually kill them.
I thought it'd be a smart aleck and go in there with my pontoons and clear out the rest of these darn things, but pontoons won't kill these. Well, they may, but it'd take an awful long time.
What does the blue rings do from the Cloudbreaker Everest?
That's the thing that slows down incoming stuff, I think.
I was going to say, does that debuff the...
Yeah.
Yeah.
It debuffs the turret by lowering its reload and lowering its projectile speed.
The cool thing would be is
I think it's useless.
Yeah, I don't think it does very much at all.
The cool thing is if it was fast enough to, like, if you wanted to get this turret, if you could get in there quick enough to get into the range where it won't shoot at you. But the way mine's set up, it has to be full health, and I can get there at 3/4 health, so it's not viable.
It depends on how you drive the target. If you're running it might help a little bit more if in some of these targets, if we need to run the Cloudbreaker as a tank, and so it's out ahead. So maybe these things are hitting before the rest of them. The rest of the mortars are coming down. Does that make sense?
If it's a tank, wouldn't it take it would take damage first, right? If you don't have enough.
But it would also be dealing damage first. So the mortars, the built-in mortar thing that debuffs would be hitting prior to the other 4 getting in range and killing things.
See, now I was wondering if it came in later in the pack because the other ones would take more damage, would absorb more damage, and then the Cloudbreaker. Oh, it did it again!
Oh my goodness! You should have stayed where you were.
That's actually pretty.
Well, except for I wanted to see how much you could get from doing the other ones.
Well, I only had 5 minutes or so on that darn thing, so let's see what I got for 5 minutes of the damage.
Well, the next time you do that, you can just let it sit there.
Well, what I was going to do was, while we were talking, I was going to go around and go to the right and try and get that pointy building.
Yeah, it probably would have been faster.
It's better to come in from the bottom.
Yeah,
Yes,
retreat and go back in.
I agree, but you guys were talking, and I was going to make.
Okay,
So that gave me 11,535.
And most of that was offensive. It was not.
Most assuredly, yes.
When I kill the 3 in the bottom right and the 1 on the top left you just killed, I get about 35,000. It depends a little bit if the silos end up killing each other, or you do most of the damage to all 3. But it only takes 3, maybe 4 targets to rank this thing.
Yeah, it took me 3.
And I'm not using I did not put a salty on it because I was more or less kind of testing.
Okay, so you would have got 33 all just for killing that one.
That was that jets. Yeah, there's no salty on that. That's just that one target.
Oh, okay, so it does seem like there might be. Well, you killed the turret as well.
yeah. So give me a few minutes to get this thing so I can go back in there and we'll see if it does give anything.
Okay, Derpy, were you killing that turret that he killed as well?
Yeah, I was killing the turret and that top silo there that he just killed.
You can't avoid killing that top silo because it goes before the turret.
Yeah. But were you doing this all in one fell swoop, or were you retreating and coming back in?
I hit the bottom right side, killed the 3 things, retreated, came in on the top left, then went back to base.
Okay.
And you got 35,000, so divided by 3, so you got like 12,000, 11,500 something.
Okay, but you were just hitting those bottom 3, where you weren't hitting the top part.
I hit the bottom 3, retreated, came in on the top, killed that.
Well, that's
how are you guys getting the same numbers then? So maybe the numbers are actually in the turret.
I'm going to go hit those 3 bottom ones and see if there's anything involved in that. If you can get anything from that.
I'm sorry.
He also did die a little, and I was using a triple salty.
Yeah.
Right.
But what he only had 5 minutes of repair on it, so I don't think that was that significant. I'm just wondering if there's a lot of points in that turret relative to
the turret would certainly be worth more than
yeah. So
I don't know if it's
the same as that other big building. That's got a reasonable amount of health in it as well, so it's probably got a lot of points on the bottom part of it.
Hopefully the 3 bottom ones. Yeah, okay. Let's see what the 3
those ones, I don't think there'll be much in them.
No, but you think the top one up here?
Yeah, but I think that one will have a fair bit because it takes a little while to kill it.
Well, we can do them separate. Okay.
Yeah, we can do them any way you want.
Okay.
And when you're killing those 3 buildings, don't just kill one and only shoot at one the entire time. Get the first one to get 1 or 2 shots on that one, then 1 or 2 shots on the second, then 1 or 2 shots on the third. That way you're actually doing more damage as opposed to the explosion when you kill one, killing everything.
And I did try over here. I did try to kill half of the turret, or a little more, and then go out and come back in. But then when the extra explosion when you re-enter the target killed it off, so I couldn't get any more out of it.
That's an interesting thing where it's only like 5% dead, and it's already had like a mushroom cloud, and it looks like it's destroyed already. Did anybody notice that?
Yeah, it looks shriveled up, and
well, it also had like this mushroom cloud, like it was, going to launch cheese balls at you.
Oh,
don't give them ideas.
Yeah,
please don't.
Well, we don't have counters, so they like it to. Oh, well, I guess we do have counters for those, but these are, but for the Gladius, we don't have counters.
Yeah. You want me to kill the whole thing, or go out and see what half of it does?
Yeah, no, kill the whole thing.
Okay.
This did go a lot faster for me with specials and everything on.
Yeah. Like I said, I had a 2-day token I wanted to use up, and I put a 2 days worth of stuff on it.
But it's got a reasonable amount of health, so it should be worth some decent.
I intended to be at
VXP, I would think.
Yeah, my intent was to be at full health for the show, but I made the mistake getting into that same situation it was in.
Yeah, the same. Yeah, because the one we just saw, right? With the
this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Was it this guy? It doesn't matter. This guy.
Yeah. So
I would have been at full health for the show on purpose, but
there we go. It's gonna kill it. Nope. And they do seem to, interestingly, fall short.
Yeah, and they have such a large spread area. They don't really ever hit where I would want them to. And even with high velocity rounds, they're all in your short. They have high projectile speed, but they have short range. So by the time they hit, everything's already fired off at least one volley at you, usually more. I think it's pretty bad built-in weapon. Although it's for free, it's not replacing anything. So I guess I'll take it.
I mean, it's probably common knowledge, but I tried to outrange that one here. No,
No, that's not going to work.
it's not going to work.
Okay, the only one would be a thrower that you could outrange.
Yeah.
And,
I probably should kill some of these to get some Defender VXP tokens.
Yeah, that's what I was. Of course, I don't need any, but there's a whole bunch of them around us that needs.
yeah, because if you poached out the parts with the VXP, and then when it seems like a good, you know,
Guys doing Defenders would be happy campers.
yeah, there's no mountains in them, so you can't use your punishers.
Did they take those out?
I don't
Were
think
they
there's
in there last time?
no. I don't.
No,
think
there's some mountains in here. I saw at least one. It's just high contrast, but they're in there.
Let's see what that gives us. Okay, that was worth 10,815. That's not bad. Look at that already. No crew.
Yep. So that would be
Let's go. 10,008. So 11,000 for that.
You didn't die. So
I didn't die.
So let's go into those three silos. And
That
figure
was
out.
my intent. I don't know why.
Yeah, I'll be surprised if they're worth a lot.
I think.
But yeah, I'm just trying to like. We figured out that combo of the silo and the turret is worth it, and that big building is worth it. Are these three silos even worth dealing with?
Well, you can do the three silos and the big building in one go.
And
But
you
if,
can
it's
do
not,
pretty quickly.
but if it's not worth your, yeah,
I'm
You
thinking
can do
like
it pretty quickly. You don't have to find another target.
right. And
Three
that's
runs total.
going to have to go in there and clean up some of these targets, maybe, but maybe not.
Like Derpy said.
Yep.
Once you get to what when I hit the one on the right, and then boom, boom. Okay, now I hit the one in the middle.
I targeted it.
Okay.
I targeted the last one.
Now move to hit the one on the left because by the time you get there, it might even be too late.
Yeah.
Oh my, you're right.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's see. I think it's only going to give me about 2,000, to be honest. I don't think these are healthy ones.
So now that we've done VXP weekend and we still don't have PP next week,
Want to do any more?
Well, we could make it ourselves. Bounty 37. Good luck finding that one.
well at least
36.
yeah. Franco he's really helpful. He watches the show, and the last two or three, he's much better at the Google image search than I am, and he's finding all sorts of stuff as far as I'm sure if he listens to the show,
Right around 2,000 for that.
Okay.
1976. It was a good year. No, it was a good year.
Okay. And so it's worth the time to move over and do that, right?
Yeah, and I have not used a salty at all. I'm at 71%. And I've only been putzing with it for the afternoon.
Okay, well,
For the mistake I made, I wouldn't be dead.
yeah.
So so this is good.
Yep. Okay. I'm just trying to think of other things that we might want to discuss, because we might learn what we're, at least the title of what we would get in Bounty 37. There's usually a little nugget of information in BP Newsweek.
I'm gonna guess it's a harrower. It's called a harrower, which is a Conqueror's flagship submarine that I'm gonna guess is submerged while moving.
It's bad we don't have
I'm gonna guess it's really powerful. It's gonna wreck your entire base.
Okay.
Well, that's pretty much a given now with the Overlord doing such a reasonable job.
for those people that have one, yeah.
Okay.
You know, those of us that weren't able to get it for whatever reason, our bases will be toast. There's nothing we can do. I got 3 shards, though.
Well, you're 3/14th of the 14th. You are 3/14th. I can't say that word today. Of the way there.
I have to walk away for a minute, so you can leave me on or not.
Well, I'll yell mean things at your ship.
Yeah, we're going to change the we're going to change the angle of some of these.
Okay. Works for me.
Go ahead.
It's already dead. I'll be back in a minute.
So, have you heard of anybody using the Ascension mortar across the board and having 6? Is the addition of the 6 scale 4s? Does it make the need to have that much projectile speed necessary?
Well, I haven't heard of anyone using all 5 ships with Ascension.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you, when I did have my flagship unranked, it was not good enough to take down even that first cluster of mortars.
Okay, so that's speaking to reload. Okay.
I mean, it's a huge difference, no rank versus rank. It's 4 times better.
Well, yes, as long as you get to the reload component, because what's the salvo is 4?
Well, let's see. I have it open. Salvo on a Gale, it's probably 4. Let's just double check.
Yeah,
salvo is 8.
Oh, 8. Okay, so it's going to fire 8 times before it needs to get to a reload cycle. And so it's going to be firing off every 0.2 seconds. So you have, let's say you have 6 on your flag, and then you have 2 on it, so you had 8 before. Now you have 14.
Now I have 14, and 6 are a lot better, and 8 are a little worse.
6 are a lot better, and 8 are
the 6 scales. So before I had 8 that were decent. Now I have 6 that are really, really good, and 8 that are a little bit worse than decent.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if you had the full 14 at a little bit less than decent.
I don't think it would be good enough.
Yeah, but nobody's tested.
Well, I just seen the performance in the target and how overwhelming getting shot at that first time looks. I don't think it would be good enough. I think you need high velocity rounds on one ship. You need a projectile speed of probably at least 190, 200 on one ship.
Okay, because what that's providing is providing the ability for the salvos, right, to be closer together. Is that what it's providing in this instance?
It means that the mortar can reach the anti-mortar will reach the enemy mortar quicker, and that means that it will actually fire in some cases where it wouldn't before.
Okay.
It gives you a second try.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
More like gives you a 19th and a 20th try.
Yeah. That's what I was trying to say. But I'm just wondering if the fact that now you have all these additional mortars that are throwing additional tries at it, is that making sense? I'm sort
Yeah.
of curious how that build works out. If anybody's, in chat is aware of the efficacy of that build in regards to the mortars go.
Well, why don't I show the first part of that target at least, and just see how much stuff gets shot at one time, and you can tell me if you think have a sufficient or way more than enough gals on there or what.
I can never tell from those things, but yeah, we can do it. But I'm just not sure that that's going to be the because I'm still trying to figure out if they went to some like middle ground where like, okay, well, one HVR and then the rest. I'm not really sure what they were planning on there.
Well, I don't think that you're going to be able to get away without an HVR.
Okay.
Especially when they do things like this. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mortars all at one at the very front of the target.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty intense. I mean, the other ones where there's 1 or 2 at one time at the front, that would cramp 6 in there. This is what I would do if I wanted people to be forced to put up massive numbers of countermeasures with massive projectile speed.
Yeah, and this is
you also have this thing.
Yeah, and this also screams, we don't want you to use those pinches anymore. Between this and all of the
target with the sheer number of these heavy turrets and and the slowdown already. So you're slow down here going to this one. You're slow down on this side if you go through here. You're slow down in the middle, 1, 2 places.
Yeah. It sort of seems like a ridiculous response to us using the pinches.
So here's just getting shot at by 1, and you can see that it's pretty capable of keeping up. What I have here is very capable. If I sent the flagship away, would probably still keep up with just the normal 8, but they are having a little bit more trouble with the lower accuracy, lower projectile speed.
Mm-hmm.
And 1 even hits there, and it hits far away from the ship, which is probably why they didn't fire in the first place. Because it's only going to fire if it knows it can intercept the projectile before it hits the ground, or hits the water, rather. Let's move closer. Let's take all shots from all of them. And there's a huge number of projectiles coming at me at once right here, and I'm just about able to keep up with them. But that was a really large number.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you need everything you got here.
But it's shooting like 5 at each one, right? Or how many?
Well, I've got about. I would need to slow that down just 1 and watch how many times we're being shot. Some of those are 2, some of them are 1. Some of them are shooting 5 times at these ones right here from the Hellstar. I'm not sure how many we're shooting from the Meteor Mortar. But you can see sometimes it shoots out a cluster of 5 at 1 projectile. It doesn't have to. It doesn't have to miss. It has to know it's going to miss. If that makes sense.
Okay. Wow, that one of them looked like it was 8, but yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm just curious because you're with using the Cloudbreaker as purely a countermeasure ship as far as the specials associated with it. There's not that much of a reduction with because right now you have 7 mortars on each of your back ships.
I've got 7 mortars.
Okay, so you have 28, and then 4 on the flag. So the damage reduction of the less, when you have 120% less building damage on the flag, right? Because you have HVR as opposed to K2.
I have HVR as opposed to K2. I also have the different. I also have subaquatic propellant over explosive battery, which even lowers my damage further.
Mm-hmm.
And that's more of an optional one.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, should I hit the rest of this target?
Sure, if you'd like to.
Well, back out and see whether or not you got any splash out of the couple of that missed.
Okay.
What do you mean?
I never. His retreat button never. But that would be interesting. Yeah, because his retreat button has always been lit. But yeah, see if you took.
I didn't take any damage.
Yeah, his retreat button was always.
Apparently, there was one penetrative thing that shot at me or something.
Yeah, he didn't take any damage.
The entrance in these ice fields are just mean in these targets.
Yeah, they're not leading you down like a preferential pathway. They just seem to be everywhere.
Yeah, this one at the entrance, it's completely unavoidable. You're going to hit this thing.
It's a guaranteed damage, buddy, target, isn't it?
They've got guaranteed damage from the heavy turrets here. There's no way you can avoid those things.
They're non-counterable, and they have a long-ass range.
Well, the brimstone actually is counterable, but it's not nearly as effective.
I'm talking about the rocket.
Okay, well, yeah. The rocket is not counterable. You can block it with mountains. I did mess up there and went too close to the Hellstar, or whatever you want to call that. Yeah, the Hellstar.
But as you came in, there was no way you're going to block it with mountains because it was there's mountains.
There's no way to block that rocket there.
Yeah, once upon a time, sprints could knock down some of the rockets.
And sprints say they counter rockets, but these rockets say they don't counter sprints.
Yes,
so
exactly. But it's all got to be in their favour. They're not really throwing us much of a bone, are they?
So I'm trying to go slow here because I know I can kill these meteor mortars with no trouble, and then I can block the vultures with the mountains. So I want to get to that point here. Even though I do have countermeasures that are fairly effective against the vultures, I just prefer to block them. No way, it stops all the damage as opposed to getting maybe lucky.
I guess the only tricky part is the fact that the Ascension mortar provides, because you talk about the ineffective nature of the built-in Cloudbreaker weapon, but you don't have a splash or spread special on that, right? Because it seems like it's aiming anywhere except for where it's supposed to, right?
Well, I've got Explosive System 4 on there, and that is a spread special.
Okay.
Even though I have it on there mainly for the countermeasure or the projectile speed.
Yeah.
So I can move into this field right here because the mountains here block it. So at this point, you think not too bad, right? I mean, the damage, even if me messing up and driving into the Hellstar range there, the damage is, at this point, it doesn't look horrible until you compare this thing to you're only about halfway done, and you compare it to the 160 where you can get it done for basically free or an hour repair or something like that.
Yeah, but your next thing you're going to get shot at from two different lots of turrets too.
Yeah, I'm getting shot at from this heavy, which I'm going to try and move towards these so that this mountain blocks it. Then I'm getting shot at by the brimstone. It's straight up guaranteed damage that there's no way or possibility of avoiding. Like you're going to take some damage and a pretty substantial amount of damage too.
This is not going to be low.
It's not going to be a favorite target.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
like probably all, even if you wanted to auto it at the end of the day, you probably only knock out 4 targets,
And for 20,
and your fleet will be buggered.
I did 160s last night and like a whole bunch of them, and it's like, I'm done with the FM.
Could you actually find 160s?
That was tough for a while too. They weren't even on the map for a while.
Yeah, I had a search and nothing came up. Not one.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a comment in forums, I think it was, that suggested that the 160s, 170s, and 180s all spawned in the same spot. So you only had a 1 in 3 chance of a 160 coming up.
Yeah, well, I waited like 10 minutes, then they started coming back.
I don't get it. Why do they know this target is this bad?
Well, you would think if they actually tested it, they should. But then again, if it's like normal kicks testing, they're using X1 fleets or probably X10 fleets and getting an hour of damage and saying, oh yeah, that's good enough.
But am I wrong? FM should not be that punishing.
No. Well,
everybody has to do FM. I mean,
has,
you got to do that. It's not an optional thing. Really.
4 hours damage for a target?
No.
That's way out of kilter. Like, really,
1,000 points, it's just unacceptable.
For an
you
FM,
remove the thunderclaps, and then that will be a decent target.
For an FM, you would really expect to be able to do the target for probably 1 coin worth of repair at the worst.
Yeah.
That was pretty much what you would look at in the old days, but now, probably since the introduction of the Praetorians, that for a lot of the time, the better targets, you're probably getting 2 coins worth of damage.
Isn't FM kind of the basic part of the game? I mean, that's like...
Well, that's supposedly where we get all our tech that we need for raids and stuff like that.
Right. And
so you would think that it should be reasonably easy to do and reasonably easy time-wise, but they haven't done that with the number of points they want you to get the stuff that you need, and the complexity of a lot of the targets. Not like Derby's one of the better drivers around, and if he's taken nearly 4 hours, well, what's some of the other people going to take?
Well, what's
5,
someone
6,
else
7, or 8?
Who hasn't tested the thing and isn't using a super high projectile speed, which isn't very intuitive, maybe doesn't even have a flagship yet?
I mean, I guess the one thing that we need to look forward to, not look forward like anticipate, but not anticipate fondly, is what is the 190 going to look like? Is it going to be more like the 160? Lower points and achievable at for very little damage, or is it going to look like an escalation on the 180?
But look at how they've gone with each of the targets so far. They've each been exponentially more damage as we've gone. 160, 170, and now 180. So on current form, you'd have to suggest that the 190 is going to up the ante, because presumably they might drop some armors just before it comes in.
That was going to be my question, Derpy. What do you think if you had the armors that were meant for that particular target, I don't know how much difference that would really make.
The armors
That would-
wouldn't
that
have
would
made a
probably
hell of
cut-
a lot.
With the pure survival from there probably ends up cutting my repair time about in half,
So it's still over 2 hours for.
or maybe just under. And then on the next FM target, I guess we got the escalate. We got the 180 here, and it's hard because we just got a new flagship that's supposedly better and good. I mean, I guess it sort of is. And we've also been doing them pretty well. That's why the 180 is harder, and as well as them just wanting to make it harder for no reason. We have seen it with the Praetorian targets. We didn't always get a new top of the line target every time. We would sometimes get a lower number, like we would have the 141, then the 135, then the 143, something like that, where we wouldn't get another target that does more points and more damage and have slightly fewer points and slightly less damage. Maybe the 160 is replaced with a 165 that does,
Yeah, give you like
14,000 or something. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I was throwing out there. That I don't think, that you have like the semi grind targets, and then the the more achievable targets might be the future. Lady Cat, I think you're looking at it. There is a new post?
Yeah, the HTML5 updates and resources.
Yeah.
I just glanced at it. There's nothing new there. It's just a summary of
a summary of a summary.
Well, a summary of the developer post.
Yeah.
Which was a summary of the AMA.
Yeah, it really is. I've already looked at it. It's the same thing we've already read. I saw nothing new there.
They underline the word accessible. I mean, that's good.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, there's nothing new. And again, but questions from the AMA. There's nothing new. Trust me. Had there been, I would have pointed it out.
And fixed issues still isn't very accurate, and it has super old things that aren't even relevant anymore. Like, why do I need to know something that was fixed 4 months ago that only impacted Armor Games players or something? I don't know. Yeah, the 4 steps of common problems, how to avoid is pretty good. Oh, you're still on my screen.
But we just went over that.
Yeah, it's nothing new.
I told you, it's nothing new. It's a summary of a summary.
Don't plan on removing flash as an option. Increasing actions to encourage players. Does that mean they're going to give you free coins for playing on HTML5?
Where did you see that? I did miss that one. That one might have made me at least smile.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's...
There's nothing new.
Well, yeah. Well, as far as like every time you reload the game, it's going to put you in HTML5, which sort of messes with people because like the first time they did that, I'm like, oh, is there something wrong with my computer? Do I need to reboot? There's no like, okay, you're in HTML5 right now. It's like I just think like, okay, I need to reboot my computer because there's something wrong. But yeah. Yeah.
There was nothing there. I'm just waiting. Keep checking for BP next week because I'm going to give her 15 minutes or till the show ends, whichever comes first, and I'm out of here.
So we've covered. Are there any issues left to cover? We covered the VXP. We've covered the builds. We've covered.
This.
What?
This is one single X1 Gladius. It can complete this TLC, the mastery round, one ship on auto for 2 hours damage.
Okay. At
X1?
At X1.
At X1, yeah. Maybe that's why they moved it up to this week as opposed to 2 weeks from, or next week.
It wouldn't really have mattered because I'm just going to upgrade my flagship. It's going to U3 right now. It will go up to X1 after that.
But you're saying it can do it for 2 hours of damage on auto at X1, correct? Is that what you said?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, so you think they're having us do it having to be early so we don't have an X1 ship yet or something.
Yes, exactly.
I don't think they're that nefarious. I don't even know that they would have tested one ship at X1 in here.
Because I that was the recommendation that I always had was I take the week after the raid's over and you get the X1, I spend that 8 days going to X1 so that the TLC is significantly easier.
Well, you
and
do that with the flagship and use all 5 in there.
Yeah, but maybe they realized that we need to move this up a week because if they can do it with just one ship on auto, that's a problem.
I don't see why that would be a problem.
Well, I have been. Oh, yeah, that's another. It's one of 2 good conversations. I thought of another one. I think I have one X1 Gladius, and not the flag, one of the back ships, and I've only done prize pack 2, so that's targets 1 through 6, way less damage than I took with the Punishers. By the time I was done, I did some repairs in between, just in dock repairs. I was taking about 30. No, it was less than 30 minutes. It was like 20 some minutes of damage by the time I was done with target 1 through 6. So I don't know what to say, but that's one thing. But then let's see, Lady Cat, do you want to go to? Because this is something I'm not happy with. Is the
I don't have any slides open.
We're happy about that.
We're going to go to the update. The update notes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, go down to. Keep on going. This. Oops. Nope.
What?
The aura. The aura. Okay. And then show the text. Show the text for the aura. Okay. By request, the X1 Gladius External Shield aura, which the Gladius External Shield aura is only available on the flagship at X1, is now visible in combat. While this is only a visual change, we hope to make it easier to use the aura for a tactical advantage. See example below. So, in order to see this 40 range that we've been able to see with the Punishers and riots, everything, you can only see it on the flagship at X1, which just makes it really difficult for people to understand, some people, how to drive your ships.
I'm going to be Mike, aren't you?
I would have guessed 40 range was less than that. It makes it difficult for me too. I mean, we talked about this on the Wednesday show. I'm of the opinion that you should have a range of 40 show up on the flagship only at U0. That way you can see where it is you're tanking, and you can also have only one extra ring so you don't have too many performance impacts or whatever.
Yeah.
If other people argue for all 5, okay. But we can all agree having only X1 on the flagship, or even only X1, is a poor decision. Yeah.
You got to have it on at least one at all times.
Lunacy.
And we had it on all the ships. We had it on all the ships before.
Yes, but you
with
got
a lot of rings, and I think it's probably easier to drive if you only have one to focus on.
Yeah,
your point. And I agree. It has to be on one, no matter which one it is, no matter what level it is. You got to have one.
Yeah, but that's the thing is that most people will have the other hulls built before the flagship. So what do you do if you've only got the 4?
But the ability came out at U0. The ability, they're just not showing it. The ability showed up at U0, but now you need to get to X1 on the flag in order to see it. I mean, not this particular ability, but this 40 range survival ability showed up, that it's just part of the ship. It's not even an upgrade. Oh, and now, so I just don't like this idea. But BP next week is live.
It's pretty iconic.
Is it? Okay. All right. Mutineer on the Bounty and Titan Awakening, both is useless.
Mutineer on the Bounty? I still have one ship to get to X1.
Okay. The Harrower, it's also chock full of all the great prizes. The Iconoclast, depth charge.
Iconoclast or iconoclasm is the belief that sacred symbols, institutions, religions, etc. should be overthrown. So,
yeah, and then great. Okay, we have Harrower skins, but we still don't have skins for the. We still don't have skins for the Gladius, do we?
Nope.
Yeah.
Although I have another skin that they could use.
Well, the issue that it seems like at this point, at least in my dock, between the Piranha and other things, I got a lot of like brown ships that look the same, tannish ships that look the same, and in my dock that are currently active.
And half of them go outside their little boxes, and so you finish up selecting the wrong one as well, which they still haven't addressed.
Yeah, that's been a problem for over a couple of years as far as they like. It seems like it should be, 300 pixels or 450 pixels by 450 pixels, and that's the limit. But now we have some that, appear to be like 600. Yeah, exactly. That was actually the exact number I was choosing, or was about to say. And, that seems like an easy fix.
You would have thought so, but obviously with kicks, nothing is really an easy fix.
Yeah. Yeah, because
unless it's costing them money, then it's a very easy fix.
Yeah, but it just seems like it doesn't even seem like it would cost money. It'd basically be like, okay, here's the restraint box. Don't make it any larger, and if you do, we're going to shrink it down to that anyways. It just seems, just odd.
Maybe their Photoshop subscriptions have run out.
Well, that's why they're doing the art attack contest, to get all of us making their stuff.
Yeah.
There are about 3 or 4 job postings on Kickstarter for an artist, so I think they all quit, and now they're contracting it out for free.
And what location?
I think it's actually one in all their locations. So.
Okay. That's interesting. Okay. All right.
And I'm looking at the trencher upgrades, and I'm saying, well, I have to finish my Hellswarm fleet right now. I also have to build another Piranha, and I have to build a Harrower, and upgrade my trenchers and upgrade my Warhounds. There's a lot of stuff going on there.
So for PvPers, yeah.
What did you say you were hard to hear there?
Oh, for the PvPers.
Oh, okay.
I was all like PvP stuff.
Yeah, well, it's bounty, so that makes sense. Okay, and did we go through the art contest already? I can't remember. Did we do that last week?
Oh, I think no, we didn't. So we could just look at that real quickly.
Okay, I'm going to put you in charge of this, Lady Cat.
Me?
Yeah, Lady Cat. When's your entry coming out?
You're big into the.
I have not gone and pulled my crowns out yet.
Well, crayons are pretty dangerous. Might get one up your nose or something. Hold on. At this picture, You got a paintbrush and some other, some pastels and a sketched chip. I don't see a regular pencil or shaders anywhere here, so I'm not sure how they made this.
The prizes are, I mean, the gold is great. I don't know why they didn't have this much
gold.
gold in our contest, Derby, or the other
rules.
contest.
You missed the rules.
Oh, don't go the rules. All right, you got until Wednesday, guys. You got a week, or less than a week now. Has to be forum friendly. Art has to be an original piece by the player that posted it. So no, you do not have your children color in a Battle Pirates page for you. But you can use any medium. So
Apparently, as long as it's safe and ethical. I don't know what that means, but
safe and ethical. Don't steal it off of the World of Warships page, maybe.
Use biodegradable pencils.
No plagiarizing anybody else's art. All right, so who did this? Sweet Pea has a dancing to the tune of Staying Alive by the Bee Gees, the Disco Overlord skin. Okay. I'm waiting. Sweet Pea has another entry, a Speed Pea. I don't even know where those characters came from. But very interesting.
I think they're somewhat Battle Pirates. I don't know.
It's very interesting collage work there, Speed Pea. Derpy has an entry. The Cowbreaker Everest. Now, how come it's purple and white, not like cow colors?
Well, it's got some black and white in there. You can see a few spots with some pattern, and the pink is for the udders.
Oh, okay, I get it now. Thanks for explaining.
This one's my favorite. You got to zoom out for this one.
How do I?
Control minus key.
Let's see.
You gotta get the whole thing open at once.
That's interesting. I'm not sure it's going to be a winner.
Look how many likes it has. It's pretty popular.
Apparently so. Well, you guys get your pencils out, get your crayons out. Here we have
A boat.
A boat.
Vroom, vroom.
Red Waves Matter. I guess that's who it's from. Now here we go. We have a drawing here. I'm not sure what that says. No fun.
Pirate. No fun.
No fun. See, I don't think this is how you win, people. You need to be positive. So let's work on this, people. Get some positive art out there. Somebody win that 100 gold. Make us proud. That's it. I guess I might stand a chance at this. I'll get the crayons out. Anything else? Where did everybody go?
I don't really have anything else.
Well, Hefe's not here to end the show. Well, I guess we could say our good nights and then have a moment of silence till Hefe returns. I think that's all that's going on the forum. I'm not going to go through anything else. There's no update posts. So, y'all can wait for Hefe to come back and end the show properly, or head off to get your VXP. I did mine, by the way, while you guys were talking. It took 3 targets and I was skulled. Super easy. We're waiting for you to say goodnight.
Okay. Well, good night, everybody. I will post a link in case anybody wants to join the after show, and we'll see y'all on Wednesday. And all looking forward to Bounty 37 and what Franco comes up with. So,
and exponentially harder targets that'll no doubt have the new flagship in them.
well, it's a Conqueror flagship, right?
So it probably won't.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah. I mean, we had the Defender flagship this past time, but, next time will be a new Conqueror. So,
Yeah.
So it'll have 4 piranhas and the flagship.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which is didn't they have that last time?
Yeah.
It was the Overlord and the piranhas.
Yeah, but the Overlord is the flagship.
That's the flagship. They'll be just as bad as they were last month, if not worse.
Well, you can guarantee that they'll be worse. They never get better.
Well, I'll be on vacation, y'all, so be good.
Okay.
Enjoy.
Thank you.
All right. Well, we'll see y'all on Wednesday, and best of luck.
Good night, all.
Later, people.
True.
Good night.